Credit card debt in America is getting insane and out of hand. I'm talking 40 grand, 60, 80 grand of debt. And the scary part is these people aren't flexing. They're not buying luxury stuff. They're not rich. They're not going on vacations. They're using credit cards simply to survive. Watch this.
Let's pay off roughly $2,500 of my credit card debt, including my car, a credit card, a consolidation loan, and another credit card. So I'm going to try to include screen recordings of each thing as we make these payments, and let's see if we can make these payments in less than 10 minutes so we can make it into work on time. Okay, we just made a one-time payment to our car of $527.42, and my car is finally paid off. Praise to God. Y'all just don't know how excited I am.
It feels so good to pay off credit card debts finally. And honestly, that should be the goal of everyone, but we're just starting here. This is 10,000 in debt, and that's not like, haha, that's crazy. It's the interest rates are making things so unaffordable that it is literally breaking people. It's going to ruin your whole life.
I'm 25 years old on a journey to pay off $30,000 worth of credit card debt this year, except it's no longer $30,000. Here's my new credit card debt breakdown. I started off with 6 credit card accounts, and now I am down to 4. Starting from smallest to biggest, my Capital One card, the current balance is $3,400. My next card is Best Buy, and the current balance on that is $5,597.90. My next card is Chase, and the balance on that one is $6,843.53. Last but not least, on my Discover card, I owe $11,460.78.
Look, this isn't happening to just one person. This is happening nationwide to millions of people. And the interest rates are just chewing them up. It is destroying people, and they don't know what to do. We're talking about maxed out credit cards.
I've had to make the really hard decision to max out my credit cards to try and fix my body that was destroyed by taking an antibiotic. I'll do some more videos describing actually what it did to my body, but essentially has left me disabled. So in order to fix myself, I maxed out my credit cards, and part of that is using a hyperbaric chamber, which essentially pumps like 97% oxygen in there, and it helps your cells to heal and promote recovery. See how it goes.
People are maxing it out, and they're getting to this stage because everything is getting more expensive. Wages aren't keeping up. Maybe they got laid off, and credit cards are now their emergency fund because they couldn't ever make enough money to save up to get there. It's not like they're like, yeah, let me just destroy my life and max out my Discover and Capital One and just let it roll. No, it starts with simple things: groceries, gas, car breaks down, you need some car repairs. Then the minimum payment goes up and it just gets out of control where you can barely even keep up with that, but you're never going to get out of debt, and then you're just cooked.
Closes. If you're putting all your bills on a credit card can actually be really smart if you're disciplined and paid in full each month. You earn rewards and build strong payment history, but you have to manage your balance before your statement closes. If your balance is high when it's reported, your score can drop, even if you paid in full.
And this is smart, okay? Let me say this right now because this is where people get really confused. A credit card is not simple debt. It is extremely high interest debt. Now, advice goes to use your credit card to build your credit and get points or whatever, but you have to be able to pay it off. And that makes sense. That's a good thing. But people aren't using it like that. They're using it as a crutch, and instead of paying it off, this kind of stuff happens.
I don't know about y'all, but for me, food is really my downfall. In the month of February, I made a $500 payment to my credit card. No, I lied. $700 payment to my credit card. And it's like in the moment, as we're eating, as we're buying food, we just don't realize that $20 adds up. $11 at Wawa, $27 at Publix, JW Marriott, $307. Oh, that was spa day.
Look at that. That was spa day. The whole treat yourself culture is just, it's like you can't treat yourself every day, every week when you don't have it. That's not what treat yourself is. All right, let's keep it going because some of these stories are about to really get turned up and get real insane.
Hey, let me holler at y'all for a second. How much credit card debt y'all got? Because once upon a time, I had around $6,000 in credit card debt, and my minimum payment was about $200 a month. And out of that $200 a month, I kid you not, I think 162 went to interest. So what was that, like $38 towards principal every month? Like, it took me 15 years to pay that off. It's insane.
Pay off $30,000 worth of debt with me. Hi, my name is Lucy, and today is day 71 out of 365 at working to pay off 5 different debts totaling right around $30,000. We are officially working on debt 3, which is my husband's credit card. At the beginning of the month, the balance was $2,177.32. Last Saturday, we did make a payment towards this credit card of $413.20. We do payments every Saturday, and we are hoping with our tax return and the increased price per engagement that we are doing that we will be able to pay this off this month.
People are planning and being strategic, and that's a wise thing. I think people are starting to wise up that groceries are too expensive, insurance is too expensive, rent is too high, food is too high, car payments are too high. And you know, there's a part on a car called a shock absorber. You know what the shock absorber does? It makes your ride less bumpy. So when people get into these situations where they can no longer afford everything, their life gets real bumpy. And what they do is they use their credit card as a shock absorber. And eventually you get into $30,000, $50,000, $100,000 in credit card debt, and that shock absorber explodes.
No. I'm running out of money. I got like no cash. What? Help me.
That's how it starts right there. One emergency, your car breaks down, you don't have the cash, credit card debt, right there. It easily jumps up from there. People need to understand, like, minimum payments are actually designed to keep you in debt. If you can't pay off your credit card, you really shouldn't be using it. And if you are, you have to make more than that minimum payment, because it's designed in a way where the insurance companies collect their interest. That's how they make their money. And they're going to do the minimum payment for you to make it affordable. But that interest is built in. It's built in there to just keep you stuck. People also, like, this is just straight irresponsible right here. Shopping. People love shopping, especially women. Like, they will shop till they drop.
Myself every single time, don't buy it. You don't need it. And then your girl buys it. I just got a lot of followers overnight for sharing what I bought on my no buy relapse. On this channel, I talk about my shopping addiction, the 30K plus debt that I got myself into.
She has 30K of debt from shopping. Like, like, this is not real expenses. This is something you put on yourself. But what people need to realize is when you go into debt, and then, like, you have one of the biggest things that affects people is their medical bills. You have trash insurance that you're spending a ton of money on. I mean, that's another thing. Medical debt, credit debt, it just goes hand in hand. The only way I found to save on health insurance is by going to healthnerd.net. Go in there, see if you qualify. Maybe you can get better coverage and reduced rates, and they don't sell your data. Oh my gosh. All right, back to this debt mess. We're talking about Klarna here. Like, this is for people that really can't afford it. They're separating out, like, you know, $100 payment over 4 payments with interest.
I have got a secret, and it's about Klarna. Didn't realise how bad and easy it was to spend on Klarna, and now I owe them £800. So be honest, how much do you owe Klarna right now, or another boring lender? Let's have an honest chat about how much we owe.
I mean, let's be honest here and let's be fair. Some of the debt we've shown so far is survival debt. It's necessary. People just get in a bad spot. Other, this is straight up delusion. If you're using Klarna, you're buying stupid stuff that you really, really don't need and you can't afford. Let's just be honest here.
How is it that you don't have any money to pay bills? Did you go on a shopping spree when you got the check? So yeah, this is actually exactly what I did. I just mobile deposited the check, and then, like, immediately I decided that I should treat myself. So I went to the mall and I spent like $10,000, probably like $2,000 at Urban Outfitters. Where else did I spend a lot of money? Went to the Doc Martens store and I spent a lot of money there. I got 7 pairs of shoes. I also got like a full tank of gas and groceries, and I paid like some of my credit card off. I got like an upgrade on my car, so my car payment's a little more every month, but like that's really nice. And then I literally have no idea what happened that one day. All the money was just gone. Like, I don't know, I guess I was just so irresponsible with it.
How can you be serious? Have you ever spent thousands of dollars in one day at Urban Outfitters? Can you honestly put it in the comments? Is she just doing something? Is there some twist to this where it's the right decision, or is this just a straight up stupid decision? These people, the next thing that's going to happen is you got all this debt, you're not making your payments, then boom, you're in the debt collection. This clip's like a little, it's an act, but this is it's legit. This is what happens.
When I don't have no money, I don't have it. I do not have anything. I'm begging for a motherfucking meal today, bro. When I don't have no money.
People don't even realize they can be sued for debt. Like, this is mostly credit card debt, and people just presume it goes away. It's maybe going to hit their credit report. They're going to get some collection calls. Most people are shocked when they realize that's not the reality of what happens. People actually do get sued for debt. If you default on a credit card, you're going to get sued. You're going to be served with a lawsuit. And so then you end up you either hire an attorney like us, or you just don't do anything. You end up.
I have to do something upsettingly adult. So, I'm being sued for credit card debt. And I had a tattoo scheduled next week. A tattoo that I have been trying to get for over a year, that I already had scheduled and rescheduled multiple times. I finally put a deposit down and was committed and ready to go in and get that tattoo. But since I am being sued for credit card debt, I have to get an attorney. And the flat fee that the attorney is asking for is exactly the amount that I had saved for the tattoo. So.
Hey, priorities, right? We need a tattoo instead of not getting into debt and getting into collections and getting sued for our debt, because that makes sense. Why don't you put it in the comments what you think today, what do you think normal credit card debt is? My opinion, it should be zero if you're in a tough spot. I mean, even 5,000's a lot to owe, man, with those high interest rates, but put it in the comments what you think normal credit card debt is. Now, not everyone's irresponsible. There's also people that are making good money, more money than they've ever made, and they're still stuck paycheck to paycheck.
This is a story time and how my husband and I were making $115,000 a year and still living paycheck to paycheck. It's a long one, but stick with me. So here's the deal. We went from being really, really broke to being okay, doing all right, to making $115,000 a year, which at the time was actually pretty good for the economy. But the problem was, even though we had been making more money, I was actually spending a whole lot more money than I should have been. Not only was I spending our entire $115,000 salary on lifestyle, but I was also racking up credit card debt. If you know what that's like, or if that sounds familiar to you, please let me know in the comments that I am not alone in this journey. Basically, it wasn't until I hit rock bottom in 2020 that I was able to actually heal my relationship with money and figure out that my spending was linked to childhood trauma. That was a game changer for me. And if you're struggling with overspending and making pretty good money, but not being able to make it from paycheck to paycheck, then I'm going to encourage you to look into healing your relationship with money. This is
all the advice people have these days is just spend more money. I mean, you've got it, right? You make $115K a year. Some of these comments, and you're talking about, I make $160K. I made $160K last year, and I have no idea what I'm doing. There's plenty of content out there of what you can do with your money. You know you shouldn't be doing that.
You know what makes me sad about being in debt is the fact that I make enough money to just go buy whatever I want sometimes, but I can't because I'm paying off debt and I have no money because it's all going towards credit card debt and loan debt. And it's very frustrating for me because it just makes me sad because I give myself a very strict $250 to buy groceries and whatever else that I want / need. And sometimes that's literally just not enough. Like $250 every 2 weeks is just, it's quite simply just not enough.
That's sad that it's not enough. And the state where we're in now is credit card debt in the country has reached an all-time high, and it's just going to get worse.
Hi, everyone. Happy Wednesday, February 18th. You may have seen the headlines that U.S. credit card debt has reached all-time highs, but as with anything, to truly understand what that measurement means, you have to look at the detail. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York reported that U.S. credit card debt reached $1.28 trillion to end 2025. And as you can see in this chart, that is a record level of debt. However, this is a nominal figure, which means it is not adjusted for inflation, and it's also not adjusted for population growth. So in order to truly understand what this record level of credit card debt is telling us, you have to look at some other sources. One such source is Bankrate's annual credit card debt survey. And in this year's survey, they indicated that 46% of credit card holders are carrying a balance. And this is an increase versus 39% back in 2021.
Yeah. Why do you think more people are holding credit card debt? Everything became more expensive. A lot of these, we have examples of people that are really reckless, but most people aren't just reckless idiots like this. They're trying to keep their normal life alive, and they're having to spend more money to do it. They get in a spot where they can't afford it. So again, put it in the comments if you didn't already. What do you think an acceptable, normal amount of credit card debt is to have in 2026?